As the Red Sox and Mets prepared for Game 1 of the 1986 World Series, Bill Buckner was nagged by an eerie premonition.
The dreams are that you're going to have a great series and win, and the nightmares are that you're going to let the winning run score on a ground ball through your legs. So, those things happen, and just I think a lot of it is just fate.
You remember that World Series game where the first baseman let that easy ground ball go under his legs and his team lost and he was humiliated in front of the entire world?
Yeah?
I envy his son.
Oh, come on, Corey. Your dad wasn't that bad.
The cantaloupe is your friend?
Okay, that part was bad.
Tell me, how did career day go?
Oh, terrific, terrific. Remember the World Series where that first baseman let that grounder dribble through his legs?
Mm-hmm.
I envy him.
Come on, it couldn't have gone that bad.
You know the best part? I can get over it because I am a Red Sox fan. I mean, I'm tough. I've been through a lot in this park, man. I can take this because I am bulletproof. Buckner game? I thought you took it away from me. I did! Behind the
It wasn't just Buckner. Stanley screwed him. He didn't cover first.
Where'd you get this?
I don't remember.
Don't lie to me. Right, do you have any more of these? Huh? Where's your stash? Ben, this isn't helping you. You understand that? This solves nothing! Man, look at you.
Yeah, leave me alone.
All right. Let's clean him up.
Come on. I let her down.
Let's go. Oh,
I am the Red Sox.
You're not the Red Sox.
I am the Red Sox.
You're not the Red Sox.
You know what? I think that's true.
Hey, Buckner, you suck.
Hey, have a nice day, fellas.
Nice catch.
Jerks, huh?
Oh, my God. How do you put up with that?
Hey, just get used to it.
Fuck you, Buckner!
Hey!
You stink!
Ah, so do you!
Hey, don't worry about it, Larry. You're gonna drive yourself crazy.
Huh?
Oh, you want to see it?
Let me see it, quick. Let me see it.
Buck, catch.
What? What are you doing?
What the fuck?
Hey, sorry.
What happened?
Sorry.
Oh my God!
I missed it.
It's in
I'm
the
sorry.
middle of the street, Larry. What the hell were you doing?
What? No.
Why'd you throw it to him?
We just.
I thought you were
Hey,
a
it was a
professional. You couldn't
it was a
even
horse
catch.
shit throw.
No, well, it was a horseshit catch also.
Hey, Buck.
Hey,
Come on.
who-
That was a
who-
good
you-
throw. You bobbled it.
It was Mookie Wilson, Buckner.
Mookie Wilson. What did Mookie do? All he hit is a
Oh,
little
get the fuck out
shitty
of my
ground
house.
ball.
Get out, both of you. You ruined the gift. Get out.
Nice catch, Bill.
Oh my God!
Hey, all right.
Which was a more difficult cameo to get, Salman Rushdie or Bill Buckner from that episode where he had to relive?
Bill Buckner.
How did that go about? How did you go about getting Bill Buckner?
I called him.
So you're the one who's you don't leave it up to somebody else.
Well, when we need the big ones, yeah.
You're the Rivera. You get it. You close.
Exactly. I'm the closer. No, I called Bill, and I was very nervous about that call because I was so desperate to do that show. I loved that episode.
It's brilliant with Mookie Wilson and him.
Yeah.
But you had to describe to him what you wanted him to do, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He didn't want to do it at first. I really had to stay on the phone with him, and he had to think about it, and then I had to send it to him to read, and then his daughter was an actress, and I said, well, we could put your daughter on the show too. His daughter's a good actress.
Okay.
She was in Los Angeles, and I think when I offered that,
the quid pro quo.
The quid pro quo.
So you pro quote him.
I quote him, yeah.
Or he quitted you. I don't know which one it would be. He either quitted you or you pro quote him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that one out.
But he said yeah, and it was just one of my all-time favorite episodes.
It's great. Again, Larry David here for Curb Your
By
Enthusiasm.
the way, there was a draft where he dropped the baby.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you not keep that?
I couldn't do it. I knew it was funny. I knew it. That was hilarious, him dropping the baby.
Yeah.
Okay? That was hilarious. But I couldn't do it. The other one made me cry a little bit when he caught the baby. Mm-hmm. And so, we had to redeem him.
Somehow,
Somehow, yeah.
Before we get to our endeavor that we like doing with you.
By the way,
yes.
Fantastic guy, Bill
Buckner.
One of the great guys I've ever met.
So what'd you hear about that?
The Red Sox came about as close as they could come. The closer you get, the bigger the fall when you don't get there. I was there in '86, one pitch away, one strike away.
I glance up to the scoreboard in left center and I see, congratulations to the 1986 world champion Boston Red Sox. First time since 1918. I'm almost in tears. I'm just excited, This is great.
I was feeling it, digging myself, and we were digging ourselves. We're all concentrating getting that last out.
It was a Saturday night. It was daylight savings time. I mean, people were partying. Everybody remembers where they were, what they were doing.
We were sitting in this bar here in New York. We buy all the champagne, tell them to open it all up so that even if we don't end up drinking it all, nobody else is going to have any because it's going to be flat by the time we're done.
People had champagne in Mass General when the nurses were preparing to celebrate with everybody. When they woke them up for the medicine, banners were hanging everywhere. I mean, it was such a thing of pride for us to finally win the World Series.
I opened the windows to my apartment because when the Celtics had won a championship, it heard the eruption around town over the rooftops, and I thought, this is going to be real interesting. I want to hear that.
When you leave a game in control and turn it over to the bullpen, you just hope that they can get it done. Sometimes they get it done, sometimes they don't.
Having written an entire column on the Red Sox winning the World Series, it's a few minutes before midnight, ready to press the button to send this column off. All they need is to put in the final score.
All of a sudden, I get bear hugged from behind, and it's Oil Can Boyd. And I said to him, I don't know where you've been sitting, but get your butt back there and sit down. I said, we still have one out to go.
Things start falling apart. A little bloop single, and no big deal. We're up by 2 runs. And then 2 outs, 2 strikes on the next hitter, and another hit. And same thing the third time.
The game's tied, and they're just rallying back.
I hit the ball down the first base side very slowly.
And a ground ball, trickling. It is a fair ball.
It was probably a ground ball. I caught it a million times.
There was a discernible that went on across the town for about 15 seconds. It was agony. It was visceral. It was uncontrollable.
You're next on WHDH.
Eddie, the pain, and I'm still shaking. Nightmare of nightmares. This has made me physically ill.
It meant something to all of New England that is very, very hard to explain unless you've experienced it.
The Buckner era is the sports equivalent of the Kennedy assassination.
And you're next on WHDH.
Eddie, this is it. They ripped out my soul tonight, Eddie, and I haven't got any more to give.
It was different than it would have been in any other city and with any other franchise. People took that personally in a way that no other set of fans in America could.
Eddie, I've just got that sinking feeling. It feels like something died inside of me. It's probably the darkest day in Boston baseball history.
A friend of mine, after Game 6, gets pulled over at a sobriety checkpoint on Storrow Drive. The officer says, "Are you sober?" He says, "Officer, I've just had the most sobering experience of my life." The cop goes, "Oh, you saw the game, huh?"
You have John McNamara, the manager, sort of being frozen at the wheel at the critical time. He couldn't make the moves that probably needed to be made, that he had made all year long, and that probably should have been made then.
That morning, before the game, I wrote a column entirely devoted to the fact that Bill Buckner should not play, that he was playing on courage, and I said this game is going to find him.
In my mind, Bill Buckner was the best fielding first baseman I had. And I had no qualms about sending him out there to play first base.
I can't believe how McNamara can do the things he does. It doesn't make sense, and I'm an Irishman, too.
It's the apocalyptic loss for the Red Sox. It's the one from which, until they win one, no one will ever feel safe.
It was one of the great comebacks, and of course it was one of the great letdowns in World Series history. The comebacks for the Mets, the letdown for the Red Sox, and for their fans. I mean, they, with good reason, believe they've been cursed ever since Babe Ruth went from the Red Sox to the Yankees. Evidence indicates that they're right. The devil has taken a part in their destiny.
And the bartender came over to me, a real wise-ass New York guy, and said, "Still gonna want that champagne, boss?" And I said, "No, we don't want the champagne." He goes, "Well, I got some Mets fans, and they're willing to buy the bottles because they're already open." And I said, "Nah, pour them down the drain. I'm paying for them."
Ground ball to first base. Buckner. It's on fire! And here comes the winning run!
I have to really honestly say that Boston can't blame me anymore for Bucky Dent, and I hope they take me off the hook after seeing what I saw tonight.
Before the calamity of 1986, the year that had lived in infamy for the Red Sox was 1978.
The 1978 pennant race actually ended in a tie, and of course it led to the one-game playoff.
The Sox had blown, and that's the correct term, a 14-game lead after July 20th.
Hit high in the air to left field. Going to the corner, Yastrzemski. It's over the wall. It's a home run.
Mike Torres gave up the home run to Bucky Dent, and that became a lasting Boston negative, and as strong as the curse of the Bambino is, the curse of Bucky bleeping Dent is just about the same.
The greatest rivalry in all of sport is Yankees-Red Sox, the Montagues and the Capulets, but that even went beyond to New York versus Boston, both immigrant cities.
19th century Boston was the commercial and cultural center of the nation, and towards the end of the century, New York began to usurp that reputation. And in a sense, Boston has never gotten over it.
Bostonians have such a fixation and such an inferiority complex about New York. Roger Angel's great line about New Englanders live in Calvinistic clouds of self-doubt. They always believe the worst will happen.
Particularly after '86, there's been a certain cachet to adopt this woe is me, I'm a Red Sox fan attitude.
In Boston, they haven't won for so long, and they're always waiting for something to happen, and usually in a negative sense.
I did hear a couple fans say, "Oh, don't worry about it. They'll find a way to lose."
The wallowing in self-pity in this town is sickening. The Boston Red Sox fans have become, as a result of all this, the single most narcissistic group of sports fans in America.
I'm from Massachusetts, a lifelong Red Sox fan, part-time mountain climber. 2001, I met a Tibetan holy man, a lama with extremely big powers, and explained to him about breaking the curse of the Bambino. The lama came in, gave the blessing for the gear, and said we're good to go. I climbed Everest, placed a cap on the summit. I pinned it down with the American flag so it wouldn't go anywhere. 2 days later, I came down to base camp, lit the Yankees cap on fire in the Pooja fireplace as offering to the gods. I was told if this doesn't work, take Bill Buckner and put him on the summit.
Can you imagine being Bill Buckner, to live a lifetime with that hanging over your head, and everywhere you go, people reminding you of it?
Buckner walked into a bar, and there was some kind of fruit on the bar, an orange or something around. Some jerk rolled whatever it was down the bar floor at him and said, "See if you can catch this."
It's very unfair to him. We all make mistakes, but that was a mistake that will haunt him the rest of his life.
Bill Buckner's career was of very nearly Hall of Fame quality. Close to 3,000 hits, won a batting title, a tough, courageous player, a winning player, and no matter what, when people say Bill Buckner, it's the ball going through his legs.
There's players that are better than me that, most people don't even know who they are. People know who I am.
And I'm sure, no matter how stoic he is about it, that pains him and it pains his family.
To the point where he moved his family to Idaho. He got out of here, and who can blame him?
It is a non-negotiable tenet that the 1986 World Series was lost, not won, and that it was the single most excruciatingly painful loss in the recorded history of American team sport. That's the viewpoint in Boston. It will never change.
The Buckner moment ends the game, so it has the feeling of finality. And Buckner gets not just a disproportionate amount of the blame, he gets all the blame.
I don't think that any of us knew at that moment what this would become in terms of symbolism or Red Sox history or Bill's unfortunate history.
As time wore on, the media tightened their focus on Buckner.
The next day, the media, they asked me, how are you going to deal with this the rest of your life? You lost this game for the team, and I go, wait a minute. I didn't lose the game for the team, and we haven't even finished the series. Obviously, the New England fans were upset. They felt like something got taken away from them, and it's almost like they're on the team. And, when the team doesn't win, I didn't lose, Buckner lost, Point the finger.
The question is, why did the town need a scapegoat? In Boston, all of life's disappointments, a lousy job, a bad marriage, a terrible accident, why isn't life better? Are all confirmed when the Red Sox lose. Buckner was there to take the heat for us.
Michigan can't take a timeout.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Kenny, and welcome to ESPN Classic's Top 5 Reasons You Can't Blame, a series that takes a fresh look at sports personalities who are remembered largely for their mistakes, controversial moments, or questionable decisions. Our mission is not to further vilify these individuals, but instead to challenge conventional wisdom and re-examine what has been accepted as fact. In so many cases, the facts have become distorted and nuances lost with the passage of time. In this show, we'll attempt to make a case for the man who could easily be called the poster boy for this very series. Few men have suffered more for one moment on the field of play than Bill Buckner. When a grounder rolled through the legs of the Red Sox first baseman in the 1986 World Series, he became the lightning rod for decades of futility.
He took his eye off the ball and caused their fans a great deal of heartache. That may be the worst moment that I've ever seen in baseball.
I haven't missed a ground ball in 2 months, but that was a hell of a one to miss.
I've just got that sinking feeling. It feels like something died inside of me. It's probably the darkest day in Boston baseball history.
It ruined the lives of many people. I just knew in my heart when they had lost that in my lifetime, the Red Sox will never win it all. In my children's lifetime, the Red Sox will never win it all.
People that don't live in Boston don't know what he went through. People would come up and throw garbage on his lawn, and he really took a beating up here.
Well, I'm from Boston, so no matter what you do to Bill Buckner, it's not bad enough. He broke the hearts of people in 6 states.
He was driven out of New England because to New England, Bill Buckner was like Rasputin. He'd done evil, wicked things. We all make mistakes, but that was a mistake that will haunt him the rest of his life.
The dreams are that you're going to have a great series and win, and the nightmares are that you're going to let the winning run score on a ground ball through your legs.
New York played host to one of baseball's best rivalries, the first time ever in the playoffs.
Before the series, I was talking to Yogi, and he talked to me and he said, "We've been playing these guys for 80 years. They cannot beat us." And I was like, wow.
Swung on a drill deep to center field. Doing back Lewis. See ya! A home run! Bernie Williams! And the Yankees take a 1-0 lead in the best of 7.
Not going. And Valentin, a check swing ground ball to Knobloch. They say he tagged the runner out at first, and they're calling it an inning-ending double play. Jimmy Williams comes sprinting out to talk to the second base umpire, Tim Tashida, and I have to say, from up here, it looked like Knobloch missed off from it.
He missed it. Was he called out because he was out of the baseline trying to avoid the tag? He did not look like he was out of the baseline to me. Obviously, he tries to avoid the tag. It's clear that Knobloch didn't tag him, but I think he was called out for going out of the baseline, and he did not look like he was out of the baseline from this viewpoint.
The 14th time overall. The 1-2 pitch. Flying into the left field corner. They're waiting for it as Spencer and the Yankees are going back to the World Series to defend their crown. And third, nobody out. And this is over the head. Actually, must have hit the bat of Kareem Garcia. And a foul ball, and Garcia immediately pops up and screams at Martinez.
Yeah, that was perilously close to his head.
And when Garcia was hit by the pitch. Double play ball. They got them both. The run scores. It's 4-2. 6-4-3, and now Garcia gets up in the face of Todd Walker. Joe West had to come down and separate the two. And Garcia is furious.
Yeah, because of the designated hitter, you go after the wrong guy. I mean, Todd Walker had nothing to do with you being hit. And Martinez now pointing. That's the wrong thing to do. That's inciting right there. And now the umpires are going to have to take over.
Right.
Here's a takeout slide of Kareem Garcia going over the bag, and Walker had every right to question that. But Garcia taking it out on Walker, trying to get himself under control.
Now Ramirez.
That ball's not even close.
You talk about looking for a reason.
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. Don Zimmer and Pedro Martinez. Oh.
That's awful.
Don Zimmer, a 72-year-old man, went into Pedro Martinez's face, and Pedro Martinez threw him down.
Terrible. Awful. That was absolutely awful.
Regarded by many as the greatest pitcher in the game today, the most dangerous, the most dominant. And with one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, he works to Derek Jeter. With the Red Sox 5 defensive outs away from heading to the World Series. Jeter flies into right, Nixon back. On the run, it's over his head. Jeter will dig for second and hold there with a double. The 2-2. Into center field. Damon will play it on a hop. Jeter will come to the plate. It's a 2-run game. Grady Little out of the dugout. With 115 pitches on the night, Grady Little is going to stick with his starter. Ripped into the right field corner fair. Bernie Williams will dig. It's a ground rule double. It's second and third as the Red Sox catch a break as that ball hops out of play.
The way I see this is the most blatant situation for a second guess in this series. Whether to bring Embry in to pitch to Matsui or not. If you're not going to bring him against Matsui, when are you going to make that move?
A flare into center field. Out as Walker won't get it. The base running of Matsui. He comes home. Nobody covers second. Tie game. Mariano Rivera getting congratulations after 3 shutout innings. I would imagine that's the sentiment throughout, although the Boston Red Sox and the fans through New England, they'll tell you they were 5 outs away in the 8th inning, leading by 3 as Boone hits it to deep left. That might send the Yankees to the World Series. Boone, a hero in Game 7.
Sitting over there tonight, and it wasn't looking good, and you know, bullpen came in and held them, and we just pecked away, and like Derek told me, the ghosts will show up eventually, and they did, man. This is stupid.
Just turned midnight here at Fenway Park. 12 hours ago, JB was welcoming an NFL television audience out in Foxborough. 12 hours later, the Red Sox are 3 outs away from being swept. A leadoff walk, and there's life for the Red Sox. A pinch runner, Dave Roberts, is going to come in for Boston. He can run, picked up from the Dodgers. Miller still waiting for his first pitch. Roberts is going. Posada's throw. Roberts safe.
Roberts had a great jump. It was a good ball for Posada to throw on. Good call. Roberts was 38 for 41 in stolen bases. Nearly perfect.
Up the middle. Roberts will come to the plate. The throw by Williams. Bill Miller has tied it. The 0-1, Rodriguez. Cabrera makes a diving catch, 2 out.
Cheating toward the hole was Orlando Cabrera and diving to make the play.
And definitely into the leather before it hit the grass. Ortiz into deep right field. Back is Sheffield. We'll see you later tonight. to deep left field. Back at the monster and gone. It's a one-run game. Center field. That should tie it. Roberts will tag and go. The throw into second, and it's a 4-4 game. Clark hits it into the right field corner. That ball is going to bounce and go into the seats for a ground rule double, and that could have taken a run off the board for the Yankees. Ruben Sierra has to stop at third on a ground rule double hit by Tony Clark.
It looked like it hit the top of the fence, the low riding fence in right field. Yep. And bounces into the stands. Talk about a fortuitous bounce for the Red Sox. That ball could just as easily have stayed in fair territory. As we said last night, kiddingly, baseball a game of inch. That ball stays in the ballpark. Sierra scores rather easily.
I agree. 2 out, a 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Right side, Minkiewicz. Folk has done it again. Ortiz fights it off center field. Damon run into the plate, and he can keep on running to New York. Game 6 tomorrow night. The story with Schilling, the ruptured sheath around the peroneal tendon, his right ankle. A lot of talk about him wearing high tops, and they found the right type shoes for Schilling to pitch with. And the story is he's not pitching with them, as Al showed us out in the bullpen. And the question is that the Marcaine itself that they're shooting into that ankle, or blood from the shots? But like a scene from The Natural, Schilling climbs the mound and prepares to take on this Yankee lineup. Reaching for it, a pop up. And Millar hauls it in, a perfect first inning. He'll do one better. Into right field. Back at the wall. Is the wind going to hold it up? At the wall to end the inning. A 2-2 now. Sierra strikes out, and that's the first strikeout of the night for Curt Schilling. Pops up. Shallow center field, and now Damon will go get it.
It's baseball.
Matsui pops it up. Millar will have to drift with it. Now in foul territory for out number 1. Right side, Millar knocks it down. It's Schilling having to get over and cover with that bad ankle. 2 out. To the right side. Schilling again has to at least go into the area, and Millar gets him off the hook. Another 2-2. Sierra strikes out. Schilling isn't 94 miles per hour on that fastball. Ball 1 strike. Cairo grounds to the left side. Cabrera called into action, and a perfect 5th inning for Curt Schilling. Doing his thing. 6th inning now. Game 6 to do it. He jammed Sheffield. Ramirez went back, comes on, and Curt Schilling rolls through 6 innings. A feeble swing by Sierra. He strikes out for the 3rd time, and game 6 goes to the 8th. Off the end of the bat. Arroyo. The ball gets loose. It's down the right field line. Jeter coming all the way around. It's a 1-run game. And now we're going to have an argument as Francona comes out of the dugout.
He swatted the ball out of Arroyo's head.
If it's in the process of running to first base, that's one thing. If he intentionally swatted it with one hand or one arm or the other.
Saw A-Rod swipe it out of the glove of Arroyo.
I think he's out.
He should be out.
Yeah. Because that is clearly, as Arroyo puts the ball in the glove, the left arm came down. No.
And they're going to call him out.
He's out.
They got the call right again, and they're going to bring Jeter all the way back to first base. And this umpire crew, as this fan base for the Yankees throwing baseballs onto the field, this umpiring crew, this place is dangerous now. They're going to have to call the players off the field. Everybody's going to have to leave the field. Runners go. Red Sox force Game 7. A tremendous pitching performance by Schilling, Arroyo, and Keith Folk, who does it again.
Woo! Gotta make it interesting.
And why wouldn't this rematch of last year's ALCS last 7 games? Trying to do the same. Damon hits it in the air to right field. Sheffield back in the corner. At the wall, a grand slam. Johnny Damon. Quiet all series, goes deep. 4 more runs, and it's 6-0.
Popping it out of here. Vasquez missed with that pitch, but Damon didn't.
This would be the 5th pennant for the Red Sox since that 1918 season. Here it is. Ground ball to second. Reese. The Boston Red Sox have won the pennant.
They'll spread the news, all right.
The Boston Red Sox earned this celebration here at Yankee Stadium with the biggest comeback in postseason baseball history. Back to Folk. Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Pitching in so many big games in this organization, every game gives you more confidence.
Game over, series over, and the Red Sox are world champs again.
Now it's time to welcome the star who will throw our ceremonial first pitch on this day that we honor champions. And how happy we are that amidst this celebration and joy, this Red Sox alumnus has come back to join us. He amassed Hall of Fame caliber credentials in his 21-year Major League career, and the Red Sox would never have won the 1986 American League pennant without him. Won't you please welcome him back to Boston and let him know that he is welcome always. Number 6, Bill Buckner.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest players to wear the Red Sox uniform, and one of the kindest gentlemen to be a part of our alumni. Thank you again, Bill Buckner.
You know, there were a lot of players that were better than me. A lot of people would have trouble remembering their names, but everybody still remembers me.
It is not the content of our character or the essence of our souls that typically defines us. Men are more often measured by their deeds, sometimes just one deed.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag, it gets through Buckner.
25 years have passed since Bill Buckner committed baseball's most famous, infamous, deconstructed, consequential error. It happened in an instant, but the impact was anything but fleeting.
Of the World Series. We've been waiting for decades to try to get a championship, and this lets the ball go. Bill Buckner can rot in hell.
When that ball went through Bill Buckner's legs, hundreds of thousands of people did not just view that as an error. They viewed that as something that he had done to them personally. You did that to me personally.
In 22 Major League seasons, Buckner had more than 2,700 hits. He won a batting title. But in most minds, his career was reduced to one moment behind the bag at Shea Stadium. And it would take nearly 2 decades for the Red Sox fans who reviled him to find forgiveness in their hearts. For Buckner, it's taken longer to forgive them. When did you realize that this was going to be something that had long-term significance?
I got a phone call from one of those late-night TV big shows, and the guy's talking to me like, was I going to jump off the bridge or shoot myself? I mean, and I'm thinking, what? Is there something here that I'm missing?
It is a fair ball. Gets by Buckner.
For somebody to have the balls to say that, to me. I mean, that really ticked me off.
On the eve of the 1986 World Series, Buckner eerily foreshadowed the events of the 10th inning of Game 6.
The dreams are that you're going to have a great series and win, and the nightmares are that you're going to let the winning run score on a ground ball through your legs. So, you know, those things happen, you know, and just I think a lot of it is just fate.
Game 6, the bottom of the 10th inning.
Tension mounts some more. With 2 out in the 10th, 5-4 Red Sox. Ray Knight at first, Kevin Mitchell at third.
The Red Sox were 1 strike away from winning their first World Series in 68 years. But the Mets have rallied and now trail by only a run.
And it's going to go to the backstop. Here comes Mitchell to score the tying run.
With the game now tied and the potential winning run at second base, Mets outfielder Mookie Wilson, on the 10th pitch of the at-bat, put the ball in play.
Playing extra deep because didn't want the ball to get through the infield. And then he had a slow roller to first base. Very careful, come over, got down, watched the ball.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner.
I had an old glove. When the momentum going this way, when I stopped, it kind of closed shut. And the ball went right there, so it was a mechanical problem with my glove. So that's what happened.
Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Buckner's wife, Jody, was sitting behind home plate.
What do you remember thinking at the moment it occurred?
Oh, no. Not good. Not good. We need to win Game 7. I don't remember being utterly devastated. And I know Bill wasn't.
It's unfortunate it happened, but that's baseball. All I can say is I've never played in the 7th game of the World Series, and I get to play one now. I hate to say it's because I missed a ground ball, but that's the way it goes.
Got him.
2 nights later, the Mets came from 3 runs down to win Game 7 and the series.
The focus wasn't so much on the fact that the Red Sox lost that game, but it was, you know, that I lost.
I never, ever thought that he was the reason we lost the World Series. And I don't think any of my teammates thought that either.
It was emotional, and I'm emotional. It was hard. I won't tell you it wasn't. I wanted to protect Bill, and I couldn't.
The following year, in 1987, the Red Sox traded Buckner to the California Angels. After a short stint with them, and then with the Kansas City Royals, Buckner, in 1990, his final season, returned to the Red Sox.
Infielder, Bill Buckner.
It seemed on that opening day that some fans had moved on, but clearly not all of them. In Red Sox Nation, Buckner was still public enemy number 1. After Buckner's playing career ended, New England continued to be hostile territory for him, his wife, and his 3 children.
Hi, Brittany. When I was coaching for the Red Sox, when I was in Pawtucket, you know, I'm signing autographs. Somebody come up to me and made a, you know, obnoxious, rude comment. I mean, I got pissed. Grabbed the guy around the neck and wanted to punch him out, but I didn't. Thank God for that.
I believe a lesser man would have crumbled under what we endured. And he didn't. He rose. And he taught us. And he taught us how to handle it in his very quiet, humble way.
What kind of things did you endure?
Ignorant people, cowards, saying things to my 4-year-old son.
People would say things to your 4-year-old
People
son?
said something to my 4-year-old son in preschool.
What did they say?
They said, your daddy had to quit baseball because he missed the ball. And my son came home and said, Daddy, what did he mean? Okay, now that's where I draw the line.
Eventually, Buckner, an avid outdoorsman, moved his family out of Massachusetts to a ranch on the outskirts of Boise, Idaho, thousands of miles from Fenway Park, thousands of miles from Shea Stadium.
We all became very protective of each other. And then, you know, time went on, and life went on, and really that's what I would like people to know, is that life went on for the Buckners, and it went on very nicely.
Then, in 2004,
And the Boston Red Sox are the world champions.
the Red Sox won the World Series for the first time in 86 years. At that point, the fans were ready to forgive.
There's no question in my mind. The instant that the final out was recorded in St. Louis on that fateful evening, life immediately was going to get better for Bill Buckner.
Do you think it gave Boston Red Sox fans license for the first time to get over their disappointment from '86?
I guess, but they, you know, I mean, did they need a reason? I mean, I didn't deserve it in the first place. That wasn't my team, so them winning, I mean, that didn't make me feel any better. I mean, other than I was happy for him.
We want him to know that he's always welcome back here at Fenway Park, Mr. Bill Buckner.
But Buckner wasn't ready to let bygones be bygones. He declined to attend the 1986 team's 20th anniversary celebration. That same year, he was in New York. He and Mookie Wilson appeared together, signing copies of the photograph they had often signed separately.
There we go. All right.
It took a long time for me to kind of decide whether I want to do that or not. And then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, you know, I've taken a lot of heat over this and might as well get something out of it. I had no idea that I'd put all my kids through college just by signing the pictures.
You made me very happy, though. I mean, you didn't do it. It was an accident.
Then, in 2008, after the Red Sox had won their second World Series in 4 years, Buckner was invited to opening day at Fenway to throw out the first pitch.
You know, the Red Sox called months prior, would you do this, would you do this? And Bill and I had to talk about it, and I didn't want to do it.
My first reaction was, no, but call me back in a month.
I didn't think they deserved Bill there.
The more I started thinking about it, then the more I decided to do it.
Please welcome back to Boston, number 6, Bill Buckner.
It was a great feeling. It was almost embarrassing, you know, to be, you know, have that many people just looking at you. But it was very good, though, and emotional. I mean, I took the time to look at the people in the stands, and you know, you can tell when people are being real sincere, and you know, it was a tearjerker.
The thing that upset me going back there was seeing signs in the stand that said, "You're forgiven. We forgive you." Because the truth is, we don't need forgiveness. And we didn't go there seeking forgiveness because we have nothing to be forgiven for. We needed to forgive. We needed to forgive. And I think we have.
John, get down there and watch it in your glove.
This summer, Buckner, at 61, and his wife Jody were back in Red Sox territory. He was managing the Brockton Rocks, an independent minor league team based just 20 miles from Fenway Park.
Oh, JJ. The fans back here, you know, the passionate fans, they've been great to me. It's actually been kind of a rejuvenation for me. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for coming out. All right.
Hey, Buckner, you suck.
Hey, have a nice day, fellas.
Nice catch.
Buckner's even grown comfortable enough to poke fun at himself and the error, as he did recently on HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Herman here is from Boston. He's a big Red Sox fan, and he can't be in the same room with Bill Buckner. I'll have to ask you to please leave. I'm terribly sorry.
Are you serious?
I'm really...
Are you for real?
October 1986.
Jesus Christ.
2 outs.
Larry, don't worry about it. Hey, they can't help themselves.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Yeah, we can't help ourselves. Don't let the door go through your legs on the way out, Buckner.
I'm not wrong, though. He would not have done this 5 years ago.
No, he had to get to a place where he was okay with it and where we can laugh about it. It's 25 years later. You know, it's part of our family history. It's part of culture.
Yes! You got it, Larry! Here it comes! Oh, you got it, you got it! What? You Bucknered me!
I'm sorry.
You Bucknered it! Why is Buckner on my team?
Why did you do the show, Curb Your Enthusiasm?
You know what? I don't know. I just thought it was time, you know. But there's a nice little story to it too. It's a happy ending.
I thought that toward the end of that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode, him catching that baby on the run and everyone just cheering for him and then holding him up on his shoulders. That's what I think people should do, is hold Bill Buckner on their shoulders, because he's a true champion of the game of baseball.
Do you feel we've gotten to a point where people can talk about Bill Buckner and not talk about Game 6?
You know what? It's so ingrained that it's not going to happen. It's just the way it is. I mean, hopefully it's Bill Buckner, 86 World Series, but he was a pretty good player. Leave it at that.
Red Sox, and Wally Backman a strike. Backman is 1 for 3. Calvin Schiraldi trying to finish off the Mets and the 1986 baseball season. Tonight's NBC Miller Lite Player of the Game is Marty Barrett. Miller Lite happy to present a check for $1,000 in the name of Marty Barrett to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. And Roger Clemens hoping for that last out. Lined into left field, base hit for Carter, and the Mets are still alive. Mitchell has had 5 at-bats in the series. He's 1 for 5. Curveball, and that's going to be hit to center, base hit. And now suddenly with 2 out in the 10th inning, the tying runs are aboard, and Ray Knight will be the batter. And that's going to be hit into center field, base hit. Here comes Carter to score, and the tying run is at third in Kevin Mitchell. And the Mets refuse to go quietly. And it's going to go to the backstop. Here comes Mitchell to score the tying run, and Ray Knight is at second base. 5-5 in a delirious 10th inning. Line drive foul. Can you believe this ball game at Shea? Oh, brother. So the winning run is at second base with 2 out, 3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it. If one picture is worth 1,000 words, you have seen about 1,000,000 words. But more than that, you have seen an absolutely bizarre finish to Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. The Mets are not only alive, they are well, and they will play the Red Sox in Game 7 tomorrow.